Welcome to the Hands-On Lesson 2 video. In this lesson, we will be adding the following tags: a header tag, a nav tag, a paragraph tag, an unordered list tag, or an ordered list tag, list items, and a footer. I opened up our index.html. This is our home page. And I have my hello world. We're going to be working on our body, the portion that's going to be visible, right, on our browser. So I'm going to go ahead and take hello world and I'm going to highlight that and I'm just going to delete that. Backspace and delete. And the very first tag that I'm going to place in our body is going to be the header. So we're going to go ahead and take your angle bracket and type in header. And as you notice, as I start to type, some head starts to populate, header. We're going to pick header because that's what we want. And now we're going to go ahead and do the right angle bracket, space, and I'm going to type title in there. And now I'm going to do my /, and it already knows that we are going to close it. So it automatically gave me that header closing tag. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I don't know if you guys remember that I had mentioned that our headers are normally H1s. So let's run this. I just want you to see what that looks like. Run, and look how small that font is. So we're going to just click with your cursor right after, not inside, but right after that right angle bracket. And go ahead and do a left angle bracket, and you're going to type H2 for your heading. I'm sorry, H1. We're doing an H1 here. And that's the opening tag for the H1. So now I have to do a closing one on this end. So I'm going to go ahead, and there it is. So I'm going to click on that and it automatically closed it. Now I'm going to just run that again. And you can see now that my title's nice and big. The font's big, it's nice and bold. So I'm going to just place my cursor behind the header, and I'm going to hit enter. And the next tag that we're going to add is our nav tag. So go ahead and type that in. And again, it's already populating. And I'm going to hit space, and I'm going to type in there nav bar. And now I'm going to close that, and if I hit that /, it already knows that I'm closing the nav. And this is a placeholder for our nav bar, okay? And I hit enter. The next one's going to be, we're going to do a subtitle, and it will be the title to our paragraph. So we're going to do an H2. And I'm going to write subtitle, or I could even write paragraph title here. Okay, and there it is, the closing tag. And I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to place my paragraph below that. So we're going to do a paragraph tag. And it's going to have both an opening tag and a closing. Now I'm going to show you something. This is a little trick. If you type Lorem, L-O-R-E-M, and it's you see it populating right here, if you click on that, it gives you like a fake paragraph. And I like to do this because it will allow you to just give you that, show you the space that that paragraph would take up. So it's just a nice placeholder. So everything we're doing today are just space holders until we start putting in our own content, our own text, our own images. We're just holding the spaces and just somewhat like organizing and structuring our HTML right now. Okay, now we got to close that paragraph. There we go. Hit enter. The next tag is we're going to do an H3. And all the H's are popping up there. There it is. And in this H3, I'm going to type in list title. So we're going to have a list, and I'm going to just write list title because I don't know what you guys are going to put in your lists. And we're gonna close that H3. Below that, it's up to you if you want to do an unordered list or an ordered list, completely up to you. I'm going to choose to do an unordered list, so I'm going to enter that tag. And something that you could do, and it helps you not to forget to close them, you could go ahead and close that right now, the tag. And this is a little trick that some people like to do. Place my cursor between both of the tags, the opening and the closing, hit enter. And now what I'm going to do is start my list item tag. Okay. And I'm going to type in here list item. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'm just going to show you a little trick. Copy and paste this code of line or line of code. So I'm going to do copy and then hit enter and then hit paste and then hit enter. You're going to do 5 of them. Paste again so that you don't have to type things over and over. Sometimes we make mistakes, and so this will guarantee that you're not making your mistakes. And hit enter and hit enter again. I'm going to stop for a second. What I want you to do is I want you to go to the very top, your green button, and hit run, and let's just see what we have so far. Okay, so you have your title, your space holder for your navigational bar, you have a paragraph title, this is your paragraph, here's your list title and your list items. Okay, so that's starting to look really nice. It's very simple, but we're starting to build a structure. Okay, so now I'm going to place my cursor after the closing unordered list tag. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to place my final tag, which is my footer. So if you start, there's footer right there. And in my footer, I'm going to hit space. I'm going to say that I'm the author of this site that I'm constructing. So I'm going to type copyright, and I'm going to write, you're going to do ampersand. That is, you're going to hold down your shift key and the number 7 at the same time. That's your ampersand. No space after the ampersand, and you're going to type in copy. And it's showing up as your very first line here. Click on that, do a space, and you can do the year 2021 space, and then place your name on here, okay? And now all we need to do is close our footer. There we go. And go ahead and hit run again. Let's see what we have. And that's looking really nice, right? If you can tell, things are starting to look pretty cluttered here. One thing I like to do is I like to have spaces in between my tags, just so that's easier for me to read what's going on. So I'm going to place my cursor at the very top here in front of my header tag, and I'm just going to hit enter to give me that space between my header and my body. And I'm just going to go down and make a space in between each one of my tags. I'll hit enter again for my nav, go down one, enter for my H2, go down, enter. I'm going to go ahead and actually hit enter. I'm going to place my cursor in front of my closing paragraph, and I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to hit enter after Lauren. Okay, that just keeps things nice and clean in one section here. I can enter one more time, just to know like this is where my paragraph's at. Put my cursor in front of my H3 and hit enter. Scroll down one, hit enter. Between my footer and my closing unordered list, hit enter. And give me some space between my foot or my body and hit enter. Okay? And I just feel like things don't look so cluttered that way. When you are placing these spaces here, that's not going to affect what's going on your browser. So if you run that again, nothing's changed there. Okay? It's just, it looks neater and it's easier for me to be able to see where things are at. Now, what you could do, I would find something that you would want to place a comment on. So we can scroll down and I don't know, just pick something, pick a tag that you would like. Okay, we could do, I'm trying to think of what to do here. Maybe we could just place it right up here and just do place a comment in our HTML. And you place whatever comment you want. I'm just making something up right now. I'm going to just write H1 makes text bold and big. Okay, that's just a very generic comment, but if there's a comment that you could place that's going to make sense for you, I would encourage you to do that. And if you notice, that's a completely different color, so it's very nice. It's easy to identify. Like I can see, like, oh, there's a comment right there. It's in a light gray. Run it, and what I showed you guys in the previous video, it's not going to show up here. Now, I have the tab still here from our last lesson, lesson 1, and we had Hello World. If I refresh this page, there's everything all the work that we just did right now. Okay, you can see it here. Everything's pushed to the far left. Everything's just lining up right up against the left side. It's black and white. It's the same font. You didn't get to pick what font you wanted. It's very simple. But we're going to be building on this, and you're going to see this very simple HTML look so different at the very end. Let's go back to this tab. Okay, so we completed our index page for lesson 2. It looks really nice. Now, the last thing I would like for you guys to do is to back up your work. So I'm going to go to that hamburger icon back up in the left corner, right up here. So click on your hamburger icon, and then you're going to go back to My REPLs. And then on that line, your folder that says My First Website, go all the way to the far right side over here. And there's going to be 3 little dots right here. Click on those. And what we're going to do is we're basically making a copy of this folder, and I want you to have a backup of your work in case something were to happen. You already have like a second folder with that all the work that you've just completed. So scroll down. There's going to be the edit, history, and fork. Click on fork. And I want you to type in this fork REPL. Go ahead and type in lesson 2. Okay, and then confirm. All right, and if I run this, it should be everything we've just completed in this lesson. And there it is. Very easy way to copy our work and just have a nice backup in case something were to happen. You can go to this folder and copy and paste whatever information you need, if it's the whole entire file or if it's just a tag, a portion of a tag. This will be your backup information, okay? So this will conclude lesson 2, and I will see you guys in lesson 3.